Let's say that you are about 20 years old, and after having accomplished absolutely nothing your whole life, you decided to finally get up and do something productive, and instead of meeting new people and developing a likable personality like a normal person, you decided that the best way to go about this is to waste hundreds of hours lifting weird plates. Trust me, we've all been there. And while working out itself is fairly simple, knowing how to get started can be very difficult, as there are about 1 million different tutorials, and every single one of them is somehow wrong, which is why I decided to make this video that will introduce you to the 4 big houses of body improvement. Which path you take from now on will determine not only your abilities as an athlete, but also your value as a human being. Let's begin. First, you have the good old bodybuilders, who are individuals set on a tragic journey of forever trying to chase their own pump. They will do anything to achieve hypertrophy, even if that means slaughtering their entire gym on a frenzied rampage fueled by pre-workout. While on the outside these mass monsters might look great, the inside tells another story, as decades of exposure to dry, tasteless chicken breast has slowly but surely destroyed their will to live, meaning that the only way left for them to feel alive is to abuse dangerous performance-enhancing drugs, like for example, creatine. A powerlifter is the result of what happens once that one weird kid from high school decides to stop listening to heavy metal and start lifting heavy metal. From the outside you might mistake these athletes for just regular obese men, however do not be fooled by appearances, as under several layers of fat there is a powerful body, achieved with hardcore exercise, and a consistent diet of McDonald's. A powerlifter is not intimidated by such puny mortal concepts as injury, gravity, or diabetes, and will gladly sacrifice their longevity, just for the sake of adding 3 kilos to their 1 rep max. The only thing that can strike fear into the heart of the powerlifting Chad, is the prospect of eventually having to cut weight, as deep down inside they know that without all the fat they look about the same size as your average skinny dude doing bodyweight exercises. Which brings me to the next house of body improvement, calisthenics, which is basically yoga, but for men, and a lot less painful. While the average squat consists of lifting mere hundreds of kilos on your back, bodyweight exercises go against the norm, by using the entire planet as a counterweight, which in of itself is very impressive, especially considering that your average calisthenics bro weighs about 60 kilograms or 132 pounds in case you're a power lifter. These skinny guys have mainly reached the stage of acceptance, and realized that since they can't get any bigger then they might as well learn some party tricks. Bodyweight exercises in general start off pretty simple. However, as time passes and you get stronger, you'll need to learn a whole series of incredibly elaborate moves that will challenge your mobility, strength, and patience. Being part of the calisthenics gang is full of ups and downs. You'll work on your agility and obtain a chiseled body, achieved through hard work and prolonged starvation. However, no matter how defined your abs become, you'll still look like a small child while wearing a shirt. So if you practice calisthenics and your friends start mistaking you for just a normal healthy person, make sure to remind them of your superiority by latching to a pole like a parasite, and exposing your body to the innocent bystanders.
Over hits the ground, and Matt Frazier takes a nasty spill off of that thing, but he is okay, and Vellner's off it as well.
Last, and definitely least, is the CrossFitter, which has been allowed to exist in the ranks of fitness the same way the appendix is allowed to exist in the human body. This is the newest and trendiest form of exercise, and it was designed from its inception to appeal to the same kind of person that unironically reads BuzzFeed.
30 pounds is actually a little heavy. This is like a toddler. I'm like carrying a toddler right now.
10 pounds is really heavy.
And while it's entertaining to make fun of these people, you have to admit that they have very good marketing. Somehow, this modern form of torture has become incredibly popular, and you might ask yourself, well, Doing CrossFit is still better than sitting at home watching terrible YouTube videos, right? Actually, no, because while CrossFit might market itself as a safe space, it has a statistically bigger injury rate than playing rugby, football, or the Russian roulette.
He's not even having to prep for it. He throws the weight on, loads and goes. That's so impressive.
And now Matt Fraser will take a moment.
Now at this point you're probably wondering, how can I tell the CrossFitter apart from your average microscopic bacteria? And the answer is, by looking out for the distinct exercises that have been explicitly designed for maximal attention seeking. These veiled attempts at suicide, disguised as CrossFit exercises, are all about taking a complex and already effective exercise, then trying to perform it as fast and dangerously as humanly possible. Kind of like the fitness equivalent of doing a speed run of a game that you never learned how to play. You see, the reason why so many of these moves look so ridiculous is because CrossFit isn't just a type of training, it's a class. And so, much like in elementary school, these glorified PE teachers need to come up with their way to entertain a group of millennials that collectively have about the same level of attention span as a pubescent goldfish. And by far the most recognizable of all CrossFit exercises is the kipping pull-up, which to me perfectly demonstrates all of the traits present in a CrossFit workout. First, it's a butchered version of a perfectly functional exercise that has been modified to look harder than it actually is. Second, it is full of wild erratic movements performed at incredibly high speeds in order to ensure maximum damage to the joints. And third, it allows you to brag about how many sets you did while achieving no actual benefits from the workout itself. You can see these same characteristics applied to other exercises, however I will not be mentioning them, as listing everything wrong with these workouts would take me longer than the average CrossFitter's career. Before finishing this very serious and factual video, I'd like to make one more thing clear. While CrossFit may have incorporated various exercises from weightlifting, they are not the same thing, as weightlifting, unlike CrossFit, is an actual sport.
What I thought was cool about CrossFit is I feel like it's a lot more human than like going to the gym and working on literally a machine that works one muscle at a time. Instead you're using your whole body and feels a little more caveman-ish, feels a little more grounded, a little more real, a little more human.
Hey, you stupid tire, get out of here!